But man, we still have the one game to go, and it sounds like maybe we're about to jump on into it.
Let's go straight ahead, the last Miramar, and finally we get a nice, even playing path. Third time is the charm. Everyone should be going to their primary drop spot. No one should be dropping on each other like we've seen a few times already. Should be smooth sailing, at least for the opening moments of this final round.
Yeah, it's so drastically different from the first two plane paths we got. Super far to the west, super far to the east. It looks like this one's nicely through the center, so everybody can kind of calm down on this one. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. That means the majority of the teams this time will be able to go to their usual drop spots, and that'll make it much, much harder for everybody to try and get inside of that first zone. So I mean, it's stinks for the players when it's a difficult thing, but when it's a little bit nicer like this, that just means it's even harder in reality, because this is what everybody's used to. If everybody's able to rotate out of their usual spots, they've practiced this how many times? So it's just a matter of where the first zone's going to go.
There's a little bit of a fight for vehicles here between 300 and, I say no cap, it is specifically retaliative, and I think he's going to back away, realizes that his opponent has the inside track. He's just going to go back towards Impala.
Oh, wow.
And get away from all of that. The circle is going to be over towards the west, though. SSG going to be the victors here with their own prayer circle, having player unknown bless their position specifically around Monte Nuevo and El Pozo.
Just finding themselves a spot on in. We can see No Cap and Tactical 8 still need to make a rotation further inside the zone. But otherwise, that was the perfect circle for almost everyone.
Where are last minute moving? We can see what happens to them, because right now BSO are pushing in onto what? Or rather, Mafmi is pushing in onto Windlow. Immediately they're on the revive, because the rest of BSO are arriving, and Patrona's there ready, lying in wait, finds one, peeks around the side. Can't find two because he runs out of ammo. Instead is going to prepare a grenade. He has NB watching around the side, but that peek gets punished. But Vixus is here for the finish, for the return. The shots come out, the full wipe comes out, and then not the blink of a single eye, more like the blink of two of them. Find the full wipe on the BSO.
That was not a great position to go on ahead and crash into, potentially. They were just on the complete open side of that building, so that was an unfortunate crash coming.
What are here to defend? A couple of grenades already towards their position. TSM backing away, but Penta almost finds one, but isn't able to secure it just yet.
Man, that would have been a great opening knock there. It looks like they're going in with some nades, though. They will catch out Blissey. So that is a little bit of an entrance coming in from them. It looks like Vixus trying to prone on out, trying to spot them through that stable. It's not quite going to catch anybody just yet. Meanwhile, the rest of TSM are now pushing. Envy unfortunately didn't see where Purdy was whatsoever, so he also falls. This is not looking good for What, but it looks like Luke might be knocked shortly. They know exactly where he is, stuck in that corner. The rest of them are pushing, and that is going to be it. What will be eliminated in 15th place, and tsmftx, they really wanted this compound. I guess that's the end of that. They're going to go ahead and take it.
That shows the strength of this squad. They knew where What would be holding. They know this compound. They know every compound on the map, more or less, especially one as impactful as this. And they had every single angle covered. They knew the roadmap for taking that away, from stealing that from any opponent.
Strike. So this might be a good position now that Libre is kind of taking the rocks above the rest of his team. Him being behind them could be huge. Gravity needs to go on ahead and start doing some damage to them so that Namor can peek on over and really start taking them out. But unfortunately, it's not starting off strong as Icon and Betty Low go down. And Namor, if he needs to strike, he needs to do it now. And that's why he's pushing on over. He's surely going to be hurt, though, before he's going to be able to put out any bullets.
Oh! He misses. He's able to correct. He's able to find his shots, but not expecting. Isaac on the left, but he's able to spin and make it work. Icon is able to get revived. Still taking a lot of damage, you can see on his health bar on the bottom left. And so Namor able to survive, able to sort of regain control of that high ground. Gives the rest of Gravity something to play around with, but now that Batty Lil has gone down, it's still not looking great for either of the teams, because whoever wins this engagement is going to have to push into TTG's position. Shots come out. It's going to be Uncivil from the center of the circle that finds the last shot onto Frost BP. Jason's still alive, takes down Icon, and it is just Nam were remaining. should be able to shoot the last survivor in the back, but there he is. Finally able to spot him.
Oh,
a shot
nice
comes his
shot.
way. He's going to make this last first aid kit very tight on timing, and that's not going to live. It's going to be both teams going out into the blue.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit too far away from that zone as well. And the next one's going to shift. And I was going to say, it looks like based off that last one's kind of favoring that North Monty spot. This next one definitely securing that. So last minute, Oath and NoCap at this point going to be quite happy. Only one team can really play above Oath. And we can see that's going to be a fight between 3 right now, maybe 4 teams later on. And NoCap, this is a position where they can kind of chill out and just hunker down and wait for the next few zones to go off. But it's not really a position where they can go ahead and be super aggressive and get some kills, but that will hopefully drag them in further inside zone. tsmftx, this is one of the teams that we said was going to start getting in a fight, and it looks like it's starting off strong, taking that fight with Dodge, and that is going to attract the interest of both Space Station Gaming and Train to Go up all the way on the northern hill.
TSM are aware of that, immediately dropping the smoke so they can focus in on the Dodge without getting too much pressure by TTG's own high ground. TTG are in a bit of a rough spot of their own, not especially because Roth is slowly sneaking on up. Good damager can't find the kill, has to fall away. SSG are trying to get rid of TTG quickly, but it's not happening as fast as they would have wanted to because they need to get into the circle. Uncivil still holding down with the M2493X scope, waiting, salivating for TTG to overpeak so he can just let this gun sing. He's going to hold the off angle, going to be trying stabbing them in the back while the rest of SSG are fortifying in their more central position.
I liked that, salivating for it. That was good. Yeah, I unfortunately for Train to Go, I don't really know if they're able to get down from up on top of that hill. So many people are taking a look at them. And meanwhile, they're going to have a drastic move to get out of there. And it looks like Tactical Aid is doing the same thing here. Unfortunately for them, Rella's going to be able to take out 2 of them. Just 1 left, and there we go. He's also found out as well. Destinator somehow taking himself out. Tactical Aid will be eliminated. I guess that was the only thing that they were able to go on ahead and do there. But unfortunately, it just did not work out for them. That crash, I will say, is a pretty difficult one to commit to. Meanwhile, these teams still continuing to fight. Yeah.
It was a Hail Mary of a play. How Oath's compound is dead center. Anyone who has control of that has a solid position to get a win. So I don't fault Tactical Aid for trying to go for it. But now that they're out, we can focus on everyone else. Right now, a fight between Dignitas and 300. 300 is still 4 up. 1 kill so far. A few more ahead of them, especially if they're able to finish these kills in front. Honey Magic is taken down by Oath, which just shows how unconfident any of these teams would be, and that's going to be Dignitas finished on off. Vox with the final kill. It's only going to be 2 for them, but they're still the survivors, and that's the important part. But now they saw how vulnerable Dignitas was to Oath, and they're going to have to backfill that exact same position.
Yeah, look at that. The zone, once again, definitely securing Oath's position here. I mean, oh, and there goes Train to Go as well, unfortunately. So now the only fight left is between Space Station Gaming and TSM FTX. So it looks like TSM kind of spreading out, getting ready for Space Station Gaming to make a move. Not in a good situation whatsoever. In this zone, there isn't that many places to play. So everybody that's fighting right now is playing for the only spot that they can potentially play out of. There is an opportunity to play on that eastern side of the road, though. Man, I was waiting to see what was going to happen there, but it does look like Unite is going to be able to take out all of Veritas, but they're way outside zone, so they need to go and find one of those places that we were mentioning. Yep.
They still have a little bit of time. Veritas didn't last too long to sort of ruin United's chances, but it is still going to be a difficult push. They're going to try and probably take over Cap's position here. But now TSM holding off against, as you mentioned, SSG's approach. This is really the only position that SSG can play in towards. And TSM can focus ahead. There's no real threat of third partying. I don't think there's any vulnerable angles to anywhere else in the circle. But SSG have yet to make their approach. United, however, are starting their approach now, able to get their way to the Jeep. NoCap with grenades in hand, trying to stop United's take of, it's not even a compound, just soft position. But no, they're actually going to be backing away. They have a duo towards the east side. They're going to all collapse on the same position. They are giving it up, but it's going to be a hard cross because Oath have the line of sight. Damage, knocks, both of them.
Yeah, that's about it. That stinks. They're playing in the tiniest little bowl there where the rest of their teammates are, but it looks like that bike. I mean, we know the dangers of bikes. It just does not provide you that cover whatsoever. And in this level, everybody here has wonderful aim, so they're going to be able to take them off right off that bike. And this is a fight that we've been kind of waiting for. It's kind of slow to start, but now the zone is here. So I mean, Space Station Gaming does in fact have to push onto TSM. Now, starting off with some smokes, providing them some cover to get close enough. It definitely looks like you can see them kind of jumping over there, trying to spot somebody out. And it's going to happen shortly, but it looks like they don't want to fully commit to it just yet as they're shooting other people inside of this zone and everybody else falling around them. I mean, this is just a fight waiting to happen.
It is. SSG able to get into the circle without fighting TSM, but TSM want to remove this barb in their side, and Roth is going to be the first player, the first potential victim. But they know that he's there. Underhand grenade comes in. That's going to be Roth taken out. Purdy gets the shot before he's flashed, and the grenade is there for extra measure. That's 5 kills for Purdy on the game so far. 9 kills for TSM. And they want to finish off SSG. ALOW out the blue. Blue is at least coming onto him. Trying to find this angle onto SSG. The shift helps this fight continue on without too much of a worry. But for everyone else, for Cap, for LM, for 300, they're going to have to try and approach the Oath, and I do not envy.
Yeah, no, I do not envy that whatsoever. People are really going to have to be playing up where TSM and Space Station Gaming are, and those ridges on the eastern side of that road. Those are the only other locations. No Cap and Last Minute really have to start making a move, but it looks like this fight's continuing. TSM FTX, there we go, getting 12 kills, killing spree, and it looks like Space Station Gaming will in fact be eliminated. They were unfortunately all corralled down below that corner, and now TSM FTX can actually shift their attention to other people inside the zone, already getting a knock on Justice from Last Minute. Last Minute and No Cap were the two teams that really need to make a big move, but unfortunately it looks like now that the fight up on top is over, it's not going to work out too great for them unless United is able to do something about it.
Oh! Shots from Waldo to check Luke. That is 2 down for TSM. And Valiant should be able to get revived. It's not a super comfortable position. A little bit of a ridge line to revive behind, but Los is trying to press forward, use smoke, as well as his actual shooting to keep pressure onto TSM, because United need to climb up this ridge. They need to climb up this hill.
Oh, it looks like Purdy unfortunately isn't going to be able to get res anytime soon. United, they're just struggling to get up on top with the smoke, their only cover. You can see they're doing so much damage through that smoke. ALOW getting another knock through there, just 2 left. Los HG having to push out into the open though, will get knocked there. And that just left 1, but he will be found out too. So United will be the next team eliminated. We're now down to our top 4 teams, and all these teams are really in the only locations that are playable, except still Last Minute still haven't been able to find a good spot inside the zone, and they're kind of being held out at this point, so they might be the next to go unless they make something big happen with some sort of a crash.
They still have 4 up, so they have a few more options, but that vehicle is not one of them, because both of those things, that the car and the bike next to it, are already smoking. There's that one Murado a little bit of a distance away that they could maybe make a sprint towards, but it's still not great. Okay, 30% HP, but the line of sight. TSM, now they don't have to worry about any team crashing them immediately. They can focus on everyone else, even in the blue. Penta doesn't mind, Penta doesn't care, and now it is just TSM and Oath helping each other out, take out Last Minute. Only 1 more remaining. Dark Dreams. Purdy finds a member of Oath to take out. That's actually going to make TSM's approach that much easier, because Oath were the big dogs. Even with TSM being on the high ground and being the most active, they still didn't have the position that Oath did. But we'll see if Kickstart's knock could turn it the other way.
We can already see someone ran on over to get that res. It's already underway, but TSM knows they have a small window of opportunity. They probably want to wait to see where this next one goes, though. Maybe they don't have to move, but as you can see there, they definitely do. Their hill is no longer inside of this next zone. Oh, still very comfortable, and 300 can still barely play that ridge on the other side of the road, but it looks like they don't want to commit to that any longer. Instead, they're going to fully commit to this crash, taking those little outskirt compounds, buildings from Oath, and Kickstart, he's currently in the middle of it. At least he has Balefrost there, but in box it will push, but it will be him knocked with Kickstart's Molotov. Later we'll be able to trade 1, but now there's only just 1 left here.
Grenades coming out. Cooked well, but just too rare. And Lada's able to stay alive while this is happening. TSM have made the approach. Purdy is on the roof. Yeesh. should be able to overlook all of this engagement, all of this fighting. And Oath are so desperately trying to get rid of Leda, because they want to take care of him. Now they can focus on TSM, but as long as he is alive, it's going to be hard. But Balefrost is there with the angle, avoids the brunt of that grenade, and now they can finally focus on TSM, who already have 17 kills, but all 4 are in the compound.
Yeah, the push now coming through. I mean, they have the roof, and honestly, that is such a huge control position here. It's not looking good. Rello, though, he's on the outside of that little wall there. If Purdy isn't careful, he might be able to catch one out, but it looks like he might be shooting somebody else, and that'll give away his position. Oh, there we go. Spotted out Purdy. Unfortunately, he didn't get the knock, though. They needed to have that happen if they were hopeful to try and regain this advantage here, but it did not happen. So they're taking a little bit more damage back. They also have a huge amount of kills. So TSM has 17, Oath has 13. But of course, we know that the chicken is also what really matters. Purdy, unfortunately, flashing himself, is going to have Snakers get a knock on a 1-2. This is looking great for Oath now after that knocks there. He was able to hold it off barely. Oh, and he falls too.
Relo's fire, but I still take that trade, because it is now from a 3 versus 4 to a 2 versus 2. Unfortunately, or rather, fortunately, it could go either way. Both members of TSM are at the center of the circle. Oh, and Oath, now their lone member who could say the same, is now taken out. It is now gone. It is only Balefrost remaining in a 1 versus 2.
Oh, and it looks like one of them decided to go back down onto the ground. So Purdy definitely applying that pressure. Penta holding from up on top. Balefrost definitely doesn't have too much to move from, but now he definitely can't make any sort of rotation because of Purdy's spot here. And he's laying prone. Those nades landing so close, but not quite being able to get him. And here comes that blue zone. At this point, will he continue to try and take this or just go out into the blue? We'll just have to wait and see, because this is the last zone. It's going to go to that final dot that, as we can see, is actually behind TSM. So Balefrost has a long way to travel, and it looks like he will be able to make it to the next one, but was he spotted there? Does Penta know?
He should have been spotted, but the flash missed. That one's going to hit, but Balefrost is going to spot it out so he can get behind cover and not get blinded. The blue is still going to continue to put pressure. Purdy is staying on the low ground. Going to be playing behind the wall for now. More smokes come out, and the angle is finally there for TSM to get another win. 20 kills for them. That's the record on the day. Dignitas started off with a good 19, but 20 kills for TSM. The one thing Balefrost had going for him was that the angle of the few little shacks in comparison to that big building sort of bled into one little wall, which allowed him to peek from multiple different angles. What did TSM do to stop that from being a benefit and now be a liability? Is put Purdy on the ground floor with the crossfire, feeding information back and forth with his teammate.